Swampsniper here, Christopher Renton, owner of Ballahack Airsoft Field in Chesapeake, Virginia, and I love to film stuff. When I started the field, part of the reason was so that I could learn, I could self-teach photography and cinematography. And it's taken a long time for me to get to the point where I'm really doing more of that, but I love filming promos for ops and stuff. I love filming everything. I've taken a billion pictures out here, and now I have other people take regular pictures as I'm messing with Swampsniper stuff. But I've never really dived into the technical aspects of stuff until now, starting to learn things. But it's pretty simple. I mean, everything I do is very simple, and it's all amateur right now, but I'm hoping to learn to get more and more professional, and the more I do, I think the better it will get, and I'm excited about that. Alright, so how do you scope cam? One of the things that's always baffled me is people think that the camera is looking through the actual scope. Now, there are some scopes out there that are actually filming, but the quality is absolutely horrible. You can't really see the round, and it's just totally not what you want to do. So what you do, what it is very simple. I mean, you could look up right now, scope PNG, and boom, a billion different crosshairs would come up. You can create your own crosshairs. And as long as it's a PNG file with the negative background that's empty, you can drag it over whatever file you're using. So you're just filming with a regular camera. I mean, I filmed with the DSLR, now I film with the Runcam, and other people will film with actual regular video cameras and stuff. You can have whatever kind of sight you want on it. You can throw in iron sights, ACOG, EOTech, lit up stuff, just solid stuff, whatever. That's how you do it. You just throw in a PNG over your footage, drag it on top, and there you go. You can also adjust your footage so that the crosshairs line up perfectly, which I had to do when my camera would be kind of off before. But now that I have the Runcam mounted on the rail, it's generally always dead in the center, so you guys can actually see what is going on with this. Boom, right in the butt. Now, how did I get into scope cam sniper gameplay video making? I was getting excited that Novrich and Jet were coming to Ballahack for one of our events for G&G Day last year, and I was like, oh, maybe I should try to do this stuff. But I never really wanted to be a personality or in front of people and all that. I would always film other people, and I'm kind of like a control freak when it comes to oh, I want to be the one behind the camera. But I tried it and it's worked out. I first started with a ridiculous setup. I mean, it was so ghetto, I was literally taping a DSLR to the top of the camera. But I liked this, it worked pretty well because of the quality. It was inconvenient, it was obnoxious looking, but the quality was very good. The size of the sensor on this camera, plus I could film in 120 frames per second consistently. I could also film in super slow mode. That's why I was like, I will always use this camera. I can film in 900 frames per second, but for only 4 seconds at a time. It still came out as some beautiful footage. Even at a reduced resolution, it came out well. So one of the many times that Jet came here, he showed up with his Foxier Legend 1 that he had gotten from Brainexploder. Who is Brainexploder? One of the coolest dudes that there is in the industry. I mean, this guy, he has his own channel, Brainexploder. You gotta check it out. But he's a very creative, inventive guy. He custom 3D prints all kinds of accessories, both for cameras and other unique things that just aren't out there on the market and aren't available. So I contacted Brainexploder, and I was like, hey, what about the Foxier? And he just strongly suggested that I would get the Runcam too. I'd seen a lot of stuff on the Mobius, but it didn't look that good. People had to spend a lot of time using stabilization, which my camera already had image stabilization on a big lens, so it was smooth every time. It looked great, the audio was great. But he suggested I get the Runcam 2 with a 90mm lens since I was sniping, so it could have enough zoom on it. And I did. I bought it from him, I got it in, and this thing works really, really well. I'm guessing it came from California to Virginia on a plane. but not this kind of plane. The kind of plane that carries mail. So I get the package, and I get a knife, and I attempt to open the package with said knife. This is not the first one I got, because I have a couple of these bad boys. So, this is the camera that changed everything for me. Now when you get one, like the first one I got, you get the package, you get a Runcam case, you get a Brainexploder patch, and you get additional Runcam accessories that you don't need. In addition to the patch, you get a Brainexploder sticker and a 32 gig micro SD card. The camera is incredibly light and small, weighing only 1.5 ounces. It is a rail attachment system on the bottom of it, so you can attach it to scopes with rail mounts or any Picatinny rail that you choose. I also got the 35mm one for doing more close quarters kind of work, but still being able to have a scope cam. Both of these cameras are awesome. Take the back off, the SD card goes in right here, and it has a removable battery. The coolest part about this camera is the app. You can download the Runcam 2 app. It is absolutely free. You hit the power button on the camera, then you hit the Wi-Fi button on the camera, turns its Wi-Fi on. You can connect it on your phone after you see the blue blinking light, and then you can actually see exactly what the camera sees, which is perfect. You can make sure it's in focus and it's everything that you want, that it's clean. You can also change all kinds of settings right inside of the app before you go out and shoot, and you can change the resolution and frame rate. I like to keep mine all the way at 120 frames per second, which is absolutely awesome that this tiny camera can do this. To turn it off, you just hold down the power button for 4 seconds. To film, click the power button, wait a few seconds, and it will start flashing blue, and you are ready to rock and roll. Now the charging port on the back of the camera can conveniently charge even while it is filming or dormant, so you can apply an outside power source. Now, this camera is so much smaller than my mid-size DSLR I used to film with, which is smaller than my full-size DSLR 5D Mark III that I film everything else with. All I need now is my head cam, which is a Hero 5 that I use, and a couple Hero 4 sessions. These guys come in handy as a reverse gun cam you can tape to the front of the barrel, or as a backup head cam if you need. Then, I strongly suggest any kind of external power source. Doesn't matter what it is, just some kind of mobile charger that's small and you can tape to your gun. You would not want a 90mm version if you were doing more close quarter stuff. I would go with maybe the 35mm if you still want some zoom to it, or maybe the 22. All of these he has. Now you can buy a Runcam 2 separate by itself and other cameras and stuff. You're gonna have to getify attaching this thing to your gun unless you get one of his special cases with it. You could buy the case separate, you could buy the camera separate, that could work. Or you could buy his combo pack, which comes with everything that you need, and it comes with a 32GB card, which it can't take more than 32 gigs, but it's a high quality card. It's fast enough to handle all the settings on the camera. Now, the only real complaint I have about the Runcam is the microphone, but I was very spoiled with my DSLR, with my Sony RX10 II. Because the mic was like super projection action. I could hear the actual hits when it would hit people even hundreds of feet away. I could hear the whack. It was very satisfying. It did make me sound like I'm a 500-pound mouth breather because it was so sensitive, but I could use all my audio from that. With the Runcam, it's not that big of a deal. The audio is very muffled by itself, but if you're running a GoPro or something, you should just sync up the audio with that. I really believe that with what's available, the Runcam 2 is the best option to buy a boom, plug and play, rock and roll kind of a deal for using it as a scope cam. So yeah, I really want to thank Brainexploder for creating this excellent package so that it can work with rail systems so that more people can be creating awesome content. Even if he doesn't have it in stock right now, which I'm sure he does have it in stock, and if a lot of people are going to buy it, it is worth getting it from him. And he can have a very fast turnaround on these things. He should be supported. He is creating stuff that is helping creators out there. So it's very cool to see so much new stuff come because of something that he saw was missing and took the initiative on, has the skills to do. Brainexploder, thank you so much. Everyone else, thank you so much for watching this. And that's the camera, at least right now. It's not the perfect camera because I would like a camera that's this big and it films in 8K and you can film in 1,000 frames per second and it's got the perfect depth of field and all that, and it's got an awesome microphone. But right now, this is the best camera in my opinion that you can film the scope cam footage with. So definitely check it out. Check out Brainexploder, subscribe to his channel, follow him on everything. If you want to get one of his mini accessories or mounts, go to brainexplodercreations.com, or if you want to get one of his camera packages, go to brainexplodermerch.com and you can find them there. Thanks for subscribing to Swamp Sniper. Check out swampsniper.com and more good stuff coming soon.